From the Ear to There Travel Studio, this is the Ear to There Disney Podcast.
Welcome aboard the Ear to There Podcast, the podcast that'll help you vacation like a pro in any Disney destination. For those of you standing, please sit down and hold on throughout our journey and get ready to learn how to have the time of your life. And now, here's your host, Phil Gramlich.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ear to There Podcast. I am your host, Phil Gramlich. I am also the owner and operator of Ear to There Travel, which is a Disney-specialized travel agency. It's my job to take away all of that stress, all of that anxiety, and all that time that it takes to plan a Disney trip, because yes, planning a trip can take a long time. So you can focus on the fun things like having a great time with your family and friends and enjoying the magic. And I do all of that stuff for free, right? So from getting you the best possible deal on your vacation package, to your hotel room, to your fast passes, to your dining reservations, special event tickets, golf tee times, anything you can think of. I do all of that, take care of all of that at absolutely no cost to you. Think of me as the Jiminy Cricket to your Pinocchio, right? I'm there to guide you and to help you out, but I'm not going to take over your trip or show up or help you get out of the belly of a whale. You can find this podcast, my blog, or request a free, no-obligation quote over at ear2theretravel.com. All right, this is episode number 98 for the week of November 20th, 2017. Now, grab a drink, grab a snack, and as a famous mouse once said, on with the show. Now, this episode is being released on November 20th, as I said at the beginning of the show, November 20th, 2017. We're just a few days before one of my favorite days of the year, Thanksgiving. And I thought this might be a great time to reflect, to talk about what we're really thankful for in Walt Disney World. So it's close to Thanksgiving, and you know what that means? It's hard to find guests.
Thanks a lot.
So I went upstairs to someone I lived with and asked, and she said yes. Actually, that's not the first time you said yes.
No, it isn't. I was just going to say that.
My wife, Amy, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. And I just want to say I'm thankful for you.
Dude, are you serious?
I am serious.
That was my first thing that I was going to say.
Oh, darn it.
Oh, we just love each other so much.
Oh, my goodness. It pours out of us.
I was going to say, I wrote a little thing. I was going to say, and I'm not going to read it, but I kind of have to read it because I want to make sure I hit all my points.
I'll close my eyes.
I said, the first thing I'm really thankful for is you. And I said, and this is true, you keep this family running when I'm recording podcasts, going to Walt Disney World by myself sometimes,
True.
or when I'm doing work, or when I'm down in my little office/studio. So no, I really do want to say I'm thankful for you. And I'm looking at you, and it's weird because we're staring at each other in this little room.
No, that's super nice. Thank you. And I'm thankful for you, too, as I said. And also, I think we should say that I'm super thankful for all of these awesome listeners that get to hear us trying to be funnier than each other.
Right.
No, but that, tune in and care about you and care about everything. And thank you guys so much for just being great.
That was really well said, Ames.
You're welcome.
Nice.
I thought about it.
I wasn't going to thank the listeners because, honestly, I don't care. No.
You're lucky I'm here.
Of course I care. No. That was really, really nice. And that was actually awesome. One thing that you have to get better at, though, I will say, I'm going to bust on you a little bit.
Oh, fabulous.
Is all the smacking and slapping and knocking things around while you're in the room.
I'm very demonstrative.
You are. You're like, she's here like punching me in the arm. And you're listening to it right now. You're like, what was that noise? What are they doing?
It's just me.
Are they hitting each other? I don't understand. All right. So what we really wanted to do, all the mushy stuff aside, and thank you again. And I am super thankful for you. And of course, I'm thankful to the listeners for every week, twice a week.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of me that you have to deal with. So I am thankful, super thankful. So yeah, thank you for listening as always. But this episode is all about what we're thankful for in Walt Disney World. And I'm such a nerd that I could have had 55 to 100 things on this list. It was hard for me not to be like, okay, I'm thankful for Peter Pan's Flight and Splash Mountain and Small World and popcorn and pretzels and pretzels from Germany, which,
Oh, that's his favorite thing.
by the way, I've noticed lately when people say pretzels, they automatically mean Mickey pretzels.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's because of the cheese, I think.
Yeah,
I am thankful for the cheese.
You're missing out if you don't go to Germany. And
No,
get a
I
pretzel.
agree. I agree.
I don't mean the country. I'm not asking you to fly to Europe and get a pretzel. I mean the pretzels from the Germany pavilion.
They are different from any other pretzel.
They're the best pretzel on property.
They're very good.
They really are. Mickey pretzels are fine.
They're really good with the cheese.
Yeah,
Really
they're
good,
fine.
though.
They're not as good as a Philadelphia pretzel.
Okay, have you ever had jalapeno cheese pretzel from Animal Kingdom
They don't have them anymore.
that they used to have?
They had them seasonally recently, but we missed it.
I don't know why they got rid of them.
You know what they have?
That's better than German.
You know what they have? They have like a salted. I think it's a salted caramel pretzel right now.
Oh, that sounds.
I think that's what it is. I'll have to double check, but I think that's where it. And then they sell it in Magic Kingdom
Okay,
at the lunching pad.
sounds amazing.
I think it's a salted caramel, or it's just caramel, something like that. Or you would say caramel.
I do say that.
Amy's from that weird place called New York.
Weird.
She says things differently than I do. All right, so let's get into it. All right,
Okay.
the top things we are thankful for in Walt Disney World.
You start.
I have to start. Okay, Amy said I have to start. I lost my list. Where'd it go?
Oh no,
Okay, why am I starting?
I'm just letting you.
Wow, so she's so thankful that she's letting me go first. All right, my first one is Walt Disney World. The first thing I'm thankful for in Walt Disney World is Walt Disney World transportation.
Yes.
And it sounds like that's a lame one, right?
No, it's not.
But it's not. It's not.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So let's talk about what you have for transportation, right? You have, first of all, Disney's Magical Express
Right.
to and from the airport.
That
free.
alone, you could just be so thankful for.
Right. And it's free, and they get your
Right.
bags for you if you're checking bags, and it is the greatest thing. And I love when you leave, you
know.
check your bags at your resort before you get on the bus.
It's incredible. It takes so much stress away.
It does. Oh, by the way, now the Magical Express is picking you up 4 hours before your flight, not 3.
Yeah, that's good though, because when it puts you up 3, sometimes you were a little cutting.
Yeah, and the thing is now that the security restrictions
Yes.
are going to be a little tighter at the airports. So, who's got messages coming through?
Both of us.
No, it's not. But that wasn't on mine. That was on you, I think.
No, I don't have my sound on.
Oh, turn your sound off. That
I
was
don't
on my.
have
That was on me. All right.
Yeah, it was on you.
All
It
right.
was on the podcast, right?
Okay. All right, I got it. I might have to. I'm not going to edit that out because it was actually kind of funny.
You can edit
I
it out.
blamed you, and it was my fault. So yeah. So
There lies our marriage. Go ahead.
come on. All right. So that's what I'm saying. Like the security restrictions are a little tighter, but I don't hate that. I
No,
mean,
me neither.
I don't care if it takes me 6 hours to get through an airport.
Right.
If you can guarantee the safety of my kids, I'm fine.
Absolutely.
I don't care. Also, we're not flying this time.
That's
So
true.
we're going to drive for the first time ever in a few days, actually.
Please, everybody cross their fingers. for
Yeah.
us.
By the time you're listening to this, we'll be on the road.
Oh, yeah. Please think of us kindly.
Yeah. Like when you're listening to this on a Monday or a Tuesday or on Thanksgiving, think of us and hope that we made it to Walt Disney World without pulling our hair out.
And
Well,
hope we're
I don't
still
have any hair to
laughing.
pull out. Yeah.
That's true.
So anyway, but yeah, I love Magical Express. And then think about the other things, right? You get the monorails,
Right.
the buses,
I know.
the watercraft,
Right.
the Viewliner that's coming. Not the Viewliner. I always mess that up. You know, I said that to Bob Garrett, and he was so mad at me
Why'd you say it wrong to Bob
Yeah.
Gurr?
because he built the Viewliner,
Oh my
which was a
gosh.
very
So you
short-lived
got confused.
attraction in Disneyland
Right, you
in
just
the
mixed 'em up.
50s or 60s. It was a Viewliner, but it's called the Skyliner, the
Oh,
gondolas
no.
that they're putting in. So I said,
You don't want to make Bob Gurr, man.
I said Viewliner to him, and he was like, Viewliner, what are you talking about, Viewliner? I was like, oh, no. No. So the Skyliner, yeah, I don't want to make him mad. So the Skyliner was what I'm talking about. So the monorail and the Skyliner are kind of similar. Of course, the Skyliner didn't open yet, but they let you see like Walt Disney World from the air.
Yeah, that is cool.
They're like attractions in themselves. They're not
They
just
really are.
transportation.
And you don't have to have a park ticket to do. Well,
You-
you don't
no,
have
you
to
won't
have a,
for either one.
That's
They-
fantastic.
Yeah, the Skyliner will be the same way. It
That's
won't
a
be.
huge deal.
Yeah, because it's not dropping off inside the park
Oh, right.
like the monorail in Disneyland does. Like the
Mhm.
monorail in Disneyland, if you,
You
want
have
to
to have
ride
a
it,
park ticket,
you need a park ticket because it drops you off inside Tomorrowland in
which
Magic
is also
Kingdom,
cool.
which is really cool.
Right.
If you're staying in one of those Disneyland hotels, it's a cool way to get into the park.
It's true.
It's probably faster to walk in,
Oh, it definitely is.
but it's
more
cooler.
fun.
It's cooler to take the monorail.
Just
The monorail.
experience it.
One thing though about the monorail in Disneyland, it is hot.
And it's really bumpy. It's
Yeah,
rough.
yeah.
It's a rough one.
Yeah, it's not a.
But
it's
I
not a-
love that.
I love it too, but it's not a smooth ride at all.
No.
I've heard that the Imagineering was not, and the operations people weren't happy.
Oh, really?
When those new monorails, the Mark, I don't even know what Mark they are, Mark like 35? No, they're not really. When those trains were introduced, they went right back to Imagineering to get fixed. Oh. But there's no air conditioning and there's no airflow. So it's
no, that's true.
Pretty hot.
I've noticed that.
Anyway, so I love the transportation. I love that it's free. And I know people are like, well, you pay extra for your hotel room. Okay, I'll happily do that to experience have no stress when I'm on property.
That's really
I don't have to drive.
Yes.
I park my car. If we drive down, I park my car in one spot and it stays there for the whole trip.
Absolutely.
Or if we fly, we use Magical Express and I never have a car.
You don't ever need one.
No, I love the transportation. I know I've heard from clients and guests and friends and who complain a little bit about the buses. I don't mind them. Maybe it's because I grew up with buses in the city.
Right.
I grew up on SEPTA.
But I also think that there was a point in time when the buses maybe did take a little longer than you wanted or expected. Now they really have it down to a
I think
science.
they tightened it up a bit.
They really have. They have a great schedule. And they also have a clock that shows you when they're coming, the screen.
At each stop. I love that. Yep.
That's super helpful. So sometimes it is 15 minutes, but at least you know it is.
And it'll help you too. Like, yeah, if you
can walk around.
Exactly. If you get to the bus stop and you see the next bus isn't coming in 15, 20 minutes and your kids are itchy and they don't want to stay in there, you can run to the gift shop. You can do whatever while you're waiting. So yeah,
it really helps.
I love it. I do. Transportation's awesome.
That was a great pick.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Look at us. We're in the season of thanks. We're like all happy with each other.
I'm thankful for that
pick. All right. Should I stall for you while you open up the app on your phone? You got it? You ready?
I'm just picking which one to go with.
All right, what's your first one?
All right, so I'm going to go with the big one. It's kind of, well, yours was big with the transportation. Mine is
You don't have to make me feel better. I'm cool with my first pick.
Mine is World Showcase in Epcot, which I know is kind of general, but it's
I'm just going to pick half a park that I'm thankful for.
Well, you pick transportation. No, but there are so many reasons to be thankful for it. I'll say first, it's so fun to even just by ourselves be able to go to countries that we haven't actually been to without having to leave the country, without, really having to leave Florida, obviously. It really does. I mean, because I have been to some of the countries that are,
Have you been to all of them?
No,
what haven't you been
I
to?
haven't. Oh, that's really putting me on the spot.
Let me think. Let's really real quickly.
Oh,
you haven't been to the Asian countries.
Correct.
So China and Japan, you're out automatically.
But I mean, like the ones
the other 9 you've been to.
I may have. Yeah. And the ones that are represented there really do. It gives you a really, really good feel and taste and flavor and everything of the actual country.
Agree.
And so it's amazing just as an adult to go, and it's much more, even for me, amazing to bring my kids and to have them experience the culture and the food and talk to some of the people from the country.
Yeah, because the cast members, all the cast members are from those host countries.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the cast members are obviously so incredible, and they'll speak in their language to them. They'll tell them stories about, where they're from. And to me, that's huge. Also, it is helpful, just as a tip, just in case you are like us and sometimes can't take your kids out of school to bring them to Disney World. And you do always have to give an educational reason. I just say Epcot. Honestly, if you bring them to Epcot, they'll learn. They learn so much.
Yeah, and construction aside, like Guardians of the Galaxy is coming and Ratatouille is coming.
True, yes, that's
true. A possible United Kingdom ride is coming, which is rumored
fun.
Still. Those, changes are being made.
Right.
But it still remains of real, I think the edutainment aspect of Epcot is still there.
It's absolutely there.
Especially in World Showcase.
You have to take your opportunities as well.
Yeah, don't walk around, have a drink from each country and leave. That's not what are you going to learn?
I mean, you can do that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, what are you going to learn?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, you do that when you're 21 or 22, not when you're
But with your kids, you can, right.
Go into the backs of the pavilions. I apologize. My emails are coming through.
No problem.
Hit mute on that. Go into the backs of the pavilions. Talk to the cast members. Go to the KitKat stations.
Well, that was my next part. Was KitKat stations. I mean, we just discovered them, and they are unreal.
Yeah,
you can. So what the KitKat stations are, everyone is different, right? So there's a KitKat station, let's say, where there's masks, and you can decorate a mask, and then every KitKat station is different. But you get to the kids can sit there for 20, 30 minutes, honestly, and just make things, create things. They can talk to the cast members.
Right. There's always a cast member that runs it, basically, who's from that country.
And you can have an alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage while they're doing that. I'm just saying.
It's true. We've done that before. Where I'm like, yeah, you want to get a beer? Yeah, let the kids color Duffy and we'll get a beer. Yeah, why not?
No, it's super cool. And also, and I do always say this, so I'm not going to, belabor it, but I always love going to World Showcase to meet the princesses.
Yes.
It's just an incredible opportunity. There's, you don't have to get a fast pass. You don't have to wait in humongous lines. And you can go from, country to country and basically princess to princess. So in all,
you can princess hop.
You can princess hop. I'm super grateful for everything in the World Showcase.
And thankful.
Yes. Sorry.
Good.
I used the wrong word.
I like to keep it. I run a tight ship around here.
I know, very consistent.
No, but you know what? That is one thing that I know I'm annoying about with that stuff. I know that I do that to you. I'm sorry, but
totally fine.
I do. I'm
say
that
super used to it.
Anyway, yeah, you live with me with my personality for this long. You're gonna get that. But yeah, like the princesses. One tip that we can give for princesses is look on the My Disney Experience app on your phone.
Yes, absolutely.
And see when they're going to be appearing and get there like 10 minutes before they are scheduled to appear.
Absolutely.
So get there, look at your app, see that they're coming. Like Snow White's going to be out at 2:20. Get there at 2:10, 2:05.
Right. And
you'll be first and just stand in line.
Absolutely.
There will be a spot with the times outside. Like it'll be on your app, but then when you go to the spot where they meet, there's a little sign that has all the times of the meeting.
I know.
Stand right by that before there's a line, then you
Right.
get to be first in line. You get to meet and you get out of there.
And then you can go to the next one.
Instead of waiting in line.
You can princess hop.
While the princess is there, because then
Right.
sometimes you get cut off.
That's true.
And if you were little kids and
That's
you get there
super
late,
upsetting.
yeah, that's not good. We have girls that cry.
Yes.
Our son doesn't really cry. He likes to meet the princesses. He doesn't really care though.
He doesn't.
Like if you missed out on all of them, he'd be
Right.
fine.
Right.
But they cry we've had several times where we've
And
messed
we've
that
seen
up.
a lot of other kids crying
Lots
too.
of tears. Yeah. It's not fun, but it's always better when the other parents have a kid having a meltdown and
Yes.
you walk by them and you're like,
And then-
sorry.
Because then 2 hours later it's you.
Yeah, then it's us. All right, so that was a good one.
Thank you.
And I'm very thankful for you for picking it.
My pleasure.
All right. So that's just the epitome of cheesiness right
I
there.
feel like
We
we've
were
done
going over the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much.
maybe.
Too much with the thankful. All right.
Possibly.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. All right. So the next one I am thankful for, the next thing in Walt Disney World are the custodial cast members.
Oh, that's a great one.
So I could really lump all the cast members into one and just say cast members in general. But
True.
I wanted to get specific with the custodial cast members. Why? Because I was one, first of all.
True.
And I know how it's not an easy job.
No.
It's not an easy
not.
role in Walt Disney World. It's not. You're constantly busy. It's always hot. You're outside. You're sweeping. Not only are you
It
sweeping
can
out.
get gross too.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm getting there. Just give me a second. So not only do you deal with, you're sweeping up popcorn.
Right.
That's not a big deal. Big deal. Napkins, guide maps, nothing. That's not a big deal. You got to clean restrooms.
Yeah.
That can get pretty gross.
That's not a good one.
Get pretty gross. Not everybody.
That's what they're
Treats.
supposed to do.
Yeah, not everybody treats the restroom like it's the restroom in their house.
Right.
Like sometimes they treat them pretty bad. And they don't clean up after themselves. It can get kind of gross. I had to shut down a restroom or two in my days as a custodial cast member because people did not treat them nicely.
I can't be good.
No, I'm not even. I can't go into detail.
No,
on that
don't do it.
and then you have to empty the trash cans, which normally isn't a big deal.
But it could be.
You get radioed when they are overflowing, which I never let my trash cans overflow, man. When I worked in the park, never.
Who is surprised by that?
No, they did not overflow. They didn't even get close to the top.
Right, of course.
I was emptying those things when they're half full. I had a system. But yeah, they can. I mean, it can get a little gross. You're emptying other people's trash, and but the one thing about the custodial cast member that a lot of people don't realize is the amount of knowledge they have in the parks.
It's unbelievable.
They
might have the most.
They might. They're the front of the frontline cast member, right?
Right, you're absolutely right.
They are the one always out there, always with the guests, always talking, always interacting. That's not the main reason I wanted to be a custodial cast member. My main reason was I wanted to rollerblade in Tomorrowland. Remember I told you that?
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Because when we applied for the college program way back in the 90s, oh man, we're old.
We are so old.
When we did that, they were rollerblading custodial hosts in Tomorrowland.
I remember
For you
that.
kids that don't even know what rollerblades are, because I don't see them much anymore,
No.
they were roller skates, but they were one line. Like they had all the wheels. They're like hockey skates, like roller hockey skates. I don't know. I don't even know if people play roller hockey anymore. I used to. I don't even know if it's the thing. But anyway, there used to be like professional leagues, and I don't know if there are anymore. Anyway, I know. It's a lost art.
I know.
So I wanted to do one of those roller blading custodial hosts. But by the time I got there, they were gone. So I got Harambe, Africa in Animal Kingdom. And I had Asia too back then, because there wasn't an Asia.
Right.
There was like a bridge, and that was it.
Area,
and a bird show, the Foots of Wonder show I used to do. But that was it.
It's a big area.
It was big, yeah. But now they need custodial members.
There's so much more
for each side, yeah.
Right.
But anyway, you know everything when you're a custodial cast member.
Absolutely.
You know directions to everything.
Because everyone asks you.
Right. You know what time the parks open, they close, what time the parades are.
Yep.
So when you're in the park and you need directions or guidance or ask a custodial cast member, they know everything. And they're usually super friendly because they deal with people all day.
Right.
Like they are hired for that role because of how nice they are and how like I was happy-go-lucky sweeping up, gorilla, number 2. I had to do that on more than one occasion.
I'm sure.
Where the gorillas would throw their things at guests. Yeah. That's another story. That's a story for a different time.
That is a good story.
But what was I getting to? Right. So one thing, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes because there's one thing that I wanted to get to about this. One thing that you might not know, I know, Ames, but listener might not know, is every cast member is first a custodial cast member.
Right.
Because you're taught your main role, your first role as a Disney cast member is to pick up trash.
Right.
If you see, even more than the role that you're trained for and that you're in,
oh, absolutely.
your first thing you're supposed to do is if you ever see trash on the ground, you pick it up right away. Pick it up, throw it out every time. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what keeps the parks so clean.
Exactly.
Is that it's not just a custodial cast member.
No,
it's
every
everyone.
cast member. Yep, you're right.
And I find myself, I haven't been a cast member for years. And I know you've laughed at me because I find myself, we're walking down Main Street and there's a guide map on the ground and I pick it up and throw it out. And you laugh and you're like, whoa. And
I know.
It's just
but
in
it's
your
funny.
head.
I was in just a restaurant here the other day and I picked up like 5 things. And partially that's because I have kids and I know that they could slip and fall on them. But yeah, absolutely. I think the training never leaves you.
It stays in your head. It really does. You never kind of forget that stuff. So, yeah. So that's the way Disney does it. They do a really, really good job. And again, the custodial cast members, I'm super thankful for them because they don't have an easy job, but they keep the parks clean. They help us, they get us where we want to go, and they're just, good people. So that's my number 2. So your turn. Number 3. Number 2. You're number 2. I'm so confused because I went second, or I went first.
This is really confusing. Okay, so I'm actually going to stick with the cast member angle for a moment, and I'm going to say that I am thankful for cast members, and these can be any cast member, doesn't have to be a specific one, that ask kids in any kind of costume, but particularly princess dresses, for autographs.
That's awesome.
Because, oh my goodness, that's the best thing in the world. So we'll just say, basically, I'll just say my specific experience. I think Alexa was 2 or 3. And she was in a Princess Aurora dress. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one, but it is super fancy. And it has like the sleeves and the little, things that go around your thumbs. I mean, they're all big and glitzy, but that one it's just heavy and it's long sleeve and it takes a while to get into and it's a big deal to wear it. And she was wearing it and she had a little pink, rhinestone tiara on and, a big princess bun. And she just looked like, she felt like she was Princess Aurora. And we got to Magic Kingdom and we were just walking around and this random cast member, I don't even know, I think maybe she was an Emporium cast member outside. And she walked over to her and had an autograph book open and said, "Excuse me, Princess Aurora, can I have your autograph?" And all of us almost fainted. I mean, it was just such an incredible, amazing thing. And Alexa definitely thought that she was Aurora. You know what I mean? Like, she was like...
She did. I don't even think she could write her name at that point. She just kind of scribbled something on the book. And
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter. It was a really, really cool thing that they do that.
She still Alexa still talks about that. And I've seen people do that, every time I'm there. That is a great thing to be thankful for, I think, because that's something that you don't have to do that. You don't get trained to do that. That's just something you think of doing. And you take 5 minutes out of your day, but it makes the whole trip and years to come just incredible memory. Don't you think?
That's a good call. Yeah, I really love that pick. I remember that moment, and I remember getting choked up because she got kind of filled up.
I was crying, yes.
Yeah, it was like it was a really, really big moment for her. It was really cool. So, yeah, great pick. I agree. I think any cast member that kind of goes above and beyond.
It's the little thing.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That goes that little extra mile and does something, especially for a kid.
Absolutely.
Or even like more specifically for like a Make-A-Wish
that's
child
true.
that's there. Or
they do
like
that all the time.
Like, I remember we were waiting in line.
I knew you were going to say this.
Yeah, and
it was for Doc.
For Doc McStuffins and for meet and greet, and we were next in line, and a cast member who wasn't involved with the meet and greet,
correct,
and wasn't a tour guide, wasn't a VIP guy, was just came up to us, who was kind of saw what was going on and said, would you guys mind if the Make-A-Wish family goes ahead of you? And we were like, of course not, right? Like, but just like, why would we mind? It takes 30 seconds.
Of course not.
And for that child who's there on a Make-A-Wish trip, it means all the makes all the difference. But
it was like it was wonderful. Like Doc was hugging her, and remember the one specific girl, and like oh my goodness, she spent extra time with her, and I was so excited for her, and I was so grateful, thankful, for our kids to be able to see that also.
Yeah, me too. And I think there was an attractions host or something that just saw
I think that's right.
Kind of the Make-A-Wish family walking through the park and got them right in line, and it was awesome that she did that. And it is awesome. Disney cast members, the majority of them are there because they want to be a part of the magic. They want to be a part of that experience. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get those who are there for the paycheck. Sure. Of course, like any other job.
Any other job, of course.
I mean, it's a job, right?
Right.
For a lot of people.
But I think for the most part,
yeah, you get those
people who just want to create an amazing experience and vacation.
Right, which is why you and I both did that job.
That's right.
We didn't do it because, listen, it didn't pay much hourly.
No, it didn't.
And you weren't, you did get good. There were good advantages to being a cast member.
Absolutely.
Free park admission, you get people in, the insurance was good, all that stuff. But, yep, I almost burped. Been drinking a lot of water today. But, yeah, I think that the making magic for guests and for kids especially makes it, like that's I loved going to work every day because I could do stuff like that.
Absolutely. And also just to be able to be there and be part of it.
Yeah.
To watch people's faces, to make that happen, everything, but just, and just hearing the sights and sounds and smells and all, being there and you're getting paid for it, minimally, really is incredible.
Yeah, it is. And listen, they pay competitive wages. It's not like they're not paying anything. No. They pay what the theme park industry pays for hourly cast members, for hourly jobs.
Right.
Yeah, that's a really good pick.
Thank you.
And I'm glad we both hit on a cast member one because they make like Walt, like I'm going to paraphrase. I don't know the exact phrase, but Walt Disney said, you could build all the greatest attractions, the greatest theme parks in the world, but it takes people to make the dream a reality, and it's true.
It is so true.
It takes the cast members to make those trips super special. Today. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So my next one, and this one I think I'm gonna get a little flack for.
Oh, good! I can't wait
because this certainly got a lot of flack when it first debuted a number of years ago, and it's My Disney Experience.
Oh, well, I do know what you mean.
So
you're gonna get flack.
Yeah, I think people it definitely has its opposers.
Oh yes.
Yeah, there's definitely people out there who still would, in a heartbeat, welcome a return to the way Walt Disney World used to operate.
You're right.
Without magical, Disney's, what is it? My Disney Experience. Gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh, I guess I should have had a second cup of coffee this morning.
I guess so.
So yeah, when it debuted, it was buggy, right?
Right.
It was buggy. You couldn't listen. Of all the people in our family, whose magic band doesn't open the door on almost every
Yours.
vacation. Almost
No,
every,
it never does.
Almost every trip that we take, my Magic Band doesn't work to open the door. I have to get Alexa, who's not even 7, to open the door for me
It's really
because
true.
it doesn't open the door ever. And I don't even go to the front desk anymore. I'm
Never.
like, whatever. Like it's you guys just have to be with me when I
We
get
just
back to
don't
the room.
split up. You're
Yeah.
right. Exactly.
But yeah, so it was buggy, it was glitchy, it was a big change, right? I mean, if you're staying on property, you book your fast passes 60 days in advance instead of just going to the park and getting a fast pass that day and getting them all day. If you're not staying in or on property, you get 30 days in advance for your fast passes. Dining now can be booked 180 days in advance.
I mean, I do love that aspect of it. Absolutely.
Right. Listen, it gives us, as the guests, a ton of control.
It does.
Way early before our trip starts.
It does.
And listen, there was a steep learning curve. There still is. Yeah. If you don't, that's why I have a career.
That's
right
true.
now, right?
I guess you should be thankful for it.
Yeah, this should be number
Because
one on my
it does
list.
add so much more planning to people's.
It does. And a lot of people, listen, I get it. A lot of guests want to go and experience the parks, but don't feel like doing a lot of planning. That's kind of where I
That's
come
why
in.
you're there.
Right. But I enjoy it. I like it.
No, absolutely. You can take full advantage of it, and it will make such a difference, for your experience.
Yeah. I mean, listen, and people like, oh, I don't want to wear the Magic Band because Disney knows where I am all the time. You know what, man? Bring it on.
Yeah.
You want to put a microchip in my head? I'm all for it. If it's going to make my trip easier, microchip
Guys, I'm
me.
totally doing that tonight while he's sleeping.
Get a syringe and inject that microchip right behind my ear, like in you don't know the movie Kingsman, you didn't watch it,
I
but
don't.
give me that microchip. I'm in. Because if it's going to make my trip easier.
Yeah, that just never occurred to me to worry about that.
About where they're tracking you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get it. But
because I know what they're tracking you for.
Right, and sure, are they looking at your spending habits and stuff? Absolutely.
Well,
they
that's
are.
why they're doing it.
Yeah, don't think that they're not. Of course they are.
Right.
But listen, I'm not going to wear my tinfoil hat. I'm going to go out there and have fun. Like, give me my Magic Band.
Right.
Let me not open my door. Let me charge my pretzel from Germany with my Oktoberfest in Germany
with a bracelet.
Let me use it for my fast pass
Right.
for Expedition Everest. Dude, let me use it to get on Disney's Magical Express.
It makes
I'm
it
game.
so easy.
You don't even have to bring a wallet anymore.
You don't, and that is a huge difference.
Like, you don't need a wallet.
I don't carry anything.
You don't have to carry any cash, any cards.
I
Just
don't.
put a Magic Band on your wrist and
That's
go.
it.
Yeah, and if you lose your Magic Band, what do? Go to guest relations, they give you a new one.
That's all.
Or if they don't have a Magic Band, they'll give you a card.
Right.
But you'll still have the same experience. You just won't have a thing on your wrist. Or you can buy a Magic Band. They have the real. I want to buy a cool one. I want like the Big Thunder Mountain one.
Oh, that'd be fun.
We just keep using the ones that we get for
The ones we get.
we could make literally we could have a
People do
string of
that.
Magic Bands from here until to New
Make
York.
like a little wreath.
Yeah, the wreaths, the Christmas wreaths. You seen those? Anyway, yeah, my Disney experience, I love it. I think it makes the trip.
It
And
does.
again, do I enjoy when we go to Disneyland and you can get the paper fast passes still, even though they don't really use them anymore, but you can do fast passes the old way.
Sure.
That's fun. I enjoy that. But Disneyland even now has Max Pass where you can
Right.
pay for a fast pass service. I don't want that.
No, I
in
don't
Walt
want that
Disney World.
either.
I want it to be the way it is.
Right.
I like it. And
I think they figured it out.
yeah, and with the addition of the rolling fast pass now,
I know.
I love that. Where
huge
if
advantage.
you're listening now, and you don't know what the rolling fast pass is. But what we used to do generally is get to the park, ride some attractions early, and set our fast passes up for a little later in the day. What you really kind of should do now is we can still do that, but after your 3 fast passes are over,
Right.
you get what is called a rolling fast pass, and you can book one fast pass after your original 3 are done for whatever's available, ride that, and then do it again. And
You can
in
continually
theory, you
book
can do it until the
fast
park
passes.
closes.
Correct.
I don't know. You're not going to get,
No.
Splash Mountain or
That's what you
Expedition
get.
Everest
That's what you use your fast pass for.
originally, right? But
Right.
you're going to get things like, let me think, the Barnstormer, or you're going to get Dumbo.
Sometimes
Or-
you can get like Under the Sea with Ariel.
Yeah, stuff like that you
Change
can
Up the
get.
Belly
Sure.
Button.
Yeah, so it's worth it. And you'll get them later in the evening,
That's okay.
but it's totally worth it to do
Right.
that. Anyway, my Disney experience, I love it. I think it's a great addition to the parks
Yes.
and to the vacation experience. So, yeah, that was my number 3. So let's go with your number 3 because you went second.
That is correct. So I am thankful, for
I can't believe you keep messing up
being
the
able-
topic of the show. I'm getting so
you
getting
didn't know
so
what my
angry.
Disney experience was called.
I didn't know what my Disney experience was called. I was kept trying to call it Disney's Magical Express. They're really close because they do the initials, DME and MDE. Like, it's confusing.
Right.
They're the same letters.
It is confusing.
Why would they do that? Change it up.
I don't know.
Anyway,
why they do that.
sorry.
So anyway, and this is going to be a strange one to you probably because we are directly affected, but I know so many people who are. So I'm going to put it in there. I am thankful for the fact that you are able to go to Walt Disney World with any and all food allergies and have no worries at all for your whole trip.
That's a great one.
I know.
It really is.
Thank you. No, it is.
You're good at this. You should have your own podcast.
I often think that. No, but I think that is really important because I know so many people in our small experience who either have food allergies, have children who have food allergies, and it feels like you can't go anywhere. You can't go to a movie theater. You can't go to certain restaurants. You get nervous sending them to school. And the world is really kind of figuring that out. But Disney already has it figured out.
Yeah.
So if you look like you are chomping at the bit, if you want to talk a little bit about
No, I'm just listening. I was going to say, one thing that's great about making reservations is you can enter into every single reservation you make.
Question, yeah.
Yeah. Are there food allergies in the party? You can put peanut allergy. You can put whatever kind of gluten allergy.
Right. If there's an egg allergy.
And then, not only that, when any table service restaurant you go to at Disney, even if you don't have a reservation, if it's not on the reservation already, the first thing they ask you after they say hello is, are there any food allergies at the table?
That's exactly right.
Right away.
And now I've talked to so many people who say, I do appreciate it. I personally never forget, but it's still great. And sometimes you do forget. And, you're so busy, you're, stressed out, or you're,
and you might forget,
or whatever. You
might forget that it's already, you might just assume that it's already on the reservation.
Exactly. So it's
still
really
nice
great.
They ask you.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I didn't
they
mean to cut you
follow
off.
up. No, you're right though. So yes. And I've heard also so many people say, I was sitting in a Disney restaurant and, I said, my daughter has a severe peanut allergy and she's a picky eater. And I heard that this chef comes out to your table and discusses with you and your child, or just you, whoever has the allergy, what do you like? What can you eat? What can't you eat? And we'll make just completely a dish that's not even on the menu.
Sure.
That your child or yourself can eat.
It's true. There's a separate part of the kitchen that they prepare that food for.
Right, and there has to be.
There's a separate part of the kitchen where they only prepare the food with food allergy.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's awesome.
It's really important.
And again, I think for whatever reason, food allergies are much more prevalent now than they were when we were kids.
I agree with that.
So it only makes sense that Disney, but Disney, you're right, they go above and beyond.
They really do.
Sorry, you keep hearing me say above and beyond. It's a Disney term.
No, but that's right.
Like,
that's exactly what they do. I know.
I say it all the time.
Exceed all expectations.
Yeah.
But they do exceed your expectations, especially in this area.
They do.
And you just don't have to worry about it. Whatever restaurant you're going into, even if you're just going to a store in a resort, all the cast members know, they're trained. This does contain peanuts. This contains egg. This that kind of thing, and that's super important. And you can't find that everywhere.
That's true. No, I mean, imagine going to Six Flags and having them, seriously.
Right.
Like, I've been to the Six Flags Great Adventure. They're not doing that. Like, sorry.
That's true. You're right.
I don't mean to dog Six Flags Great Adventure.
What did it do to you?
No, I like the roller coasters.
But they're not going to have.
But they don't have cast members there. They have people that work there, and it's not the same thing. So, yeah. So, another pet peeve of mine is when people were like, well, why would I go to Walt Disney World? It just rides. It's not. I know, it's not.
It's definitely so much more than that.
It's such a different experience. This is me and you, who are Disney nuts as adults. We're those people that other adults who don't have kids look at it. Before we had kids, they looked at us and were like, why do you keep going to Disney every year?
Yes, you don't even have
kids.
Because
I've done 160 some podcasts about it.
That's right.
That's how passionately I feel about it.
Yes.
So, that's why we go, because we love it. And it's if you haven't been there and haven't experienced it without kids, I really don't, you don't know what you're missing.
You really don't.
And I love it with our kids. It's
Me
just a
too.
different vacation with.
Right.
I mean, without.
Absolutely.
Like, you and I luckily had a chance to get to Disneyland a few years ago without our kids.
That was crazy.
And yeah, it's a different vacation.
It is.
There's no, anyway, well, that's a different show.
That'll be a good show
That's
later.
Walt Disney World without, or Disneyland without kids.
Let's do that sometime.
I think I've done one close to that with Chuck. We've done the
but he doesn't
the Walt Disney World for adults. episode.
Oh, that's true.
But you're right, he doesn't have kids, so
Right.
he can't speak about it like you and I could.
That's true. Although
Like,
he spends a lot of time with us.
He does, that's true. All right, so my next one, that was a great pick.
Thank you.
My next one is another controversial one.
Oh, good.
I'm all about the controversy today. So
Just today?
my next one that I'm thankful for, I don't know, I hope they heard that. My next one the microphone is pretty sensitive. My next one that I am thankful for is controversial, and it is the ability to enjoy beer and wine in Magic
that
Kingdom.
is controversial.
So when this was
But I am
announced-
also grateful or thankful for that.
So when this was announced, so many folks, so many guests, so many past guests were saying, "Wow, well, Walt would be, spinning in his grave," and
I get their point.
well, Walt, he never wanted alcohol in his park, and how would you know what
Right,
Walt would want in
exactly.
2017,
Exactly.
2016 when it was announced, or 2017?
He always wanted progress. Keep
He
up
was
with
at the
the times.
forefront of progress, always, always, always. Listen, did you know that? And I don't know if you know this, but I don't know if the listener, they might know it. They listen to me all the time. I might have said this before. I don't know, but did you know that there was a part of Disneyland, technically, in the 50s called Holidayland, where alcohol was allowed?
Oh, yes, that's right.
So you could rent tables or areas out in Holidayland.
That sounds fun.
And there was alcohol.
Sounds like a place I would want to be.
You could go. There was like bocce ball and little outdoor
cool.
games.
Right.
You could go and have like a work picnic. Your family could go and have alcohol, have beer and wine there. There were no restrictions on it. It was, the 50s and 60s.
Right.
And then you had your own little entrance into Disneyland. Now, granted, there wasn't alcohol served in Disneyland proper, like
Right.
inside the confines
I
of the
see what you
actual
mean.
park. But Walt and everybody else had alcohol there in Holidayland.
Right.
And you could drink and then come into the park.
So you can't say.
So anyone who's like, well, Walt didn't want it, he already had it.
Right.
So I understand that Disneyland was a dry park in the 1950s and 60s when Walt was still around. I understand that they kept that ideal for Magic Kingdom when it opened in 1971, and it lasted all the way up until 2016.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long time.
That's a long time, or 2015, whatever, 14, I don't know what year Be Our Guest opened.
But you have to adapt to needs.
Exactly right. You have to adapt to the times. Who knows if Walt Disney had lived into the 80s, if he wouldn't have already allowed Magic Kingdom and Disneyland to sell alcohol.
You're absolutely right.
He had alcohol at Club 33.
Right.
And, and he would have alcohol in certain spots for his, the people that he would bring into Disneyland.
That's true.
Walt drank and smoked.
Right. He did.
Like he wasn't, this guy that was all anti alcohol. He wasn't at all.
He wanted, the family aspect of it. I think
Exactly.
that was why he did that. But,
exactly.
You're absolutely right. You can, first of all, this was a great pick because I am so thankful for that.
Because listen, as adults,
yes.
I want to go to Be Our Guest at the end of a long, long, long day at Magic
I'm
Kingdom.
totally cool all
walking
day
around.
in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
But I want to sit with my steak and have a chimay.
Absolutely.
I do.
That is a fantastic combination.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
The chimay in a blue bottle with my
yes.
medium rare steak and those fries that they give you.
Oh, those are the best.
At Be Our Guest. Dude, why are they so much better than any
I
other
don't
fries?
know, but they really are.
Oh, I am hungry. I want those fries now. But that's what I want. Or when we go to Liberty Tree Tavern for
Right.
Thanksgiving dinner,
Oh,
I want a
just
Samuel
thinking about
Adams, right?
Right.
And they're themed for the
Right, you can
restaurants
have-
in Magic Kingdom. Absolutely. You can have Sam Adams at Liberty Tree. Yeah, Amy's looking at
I
me
did
like
not
I'm
know
crazy.
this.
Yeah, so there are 5, I think it's 5 restaurants at Magic Kingdom
That
now.
is a game changer.
That you didn't know about this?
No.
Where you can have alcohol with dinner. It's Be Our Guest,
That's amazing.
Liberty Tree, Skipper Canteen, Tony's Town Square.
Oh, wow.
There's
Wow.
another one.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe the Plaza, one of them.
Did not know any.
So Tony's, you could have Italian wine, Italian beer,
Right.
like Peroni.
But what I like too is that it's still controlled. So it's not like.
You can't sit there and drink all day.
No, you can't.
It's only
And
at dinner.
And it's not
and it's
at the
only during your
stands.
reservation.
Right.
It's not in the stands.
Right.
And if you think they're opening Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland and not having a cantina there,
You're crazy.
you're nuts. Because it's going to change in Disneyland too.
Of course it is.
And I think people are going to be upset when it does.
I think you're absolutely right.
And I have no insider information on this.
no.
I don't know anything.
You just have to use your logic.
But you start thinking about it, yeah,
Right.
it's going to change. And if you think people aren't going to go in there with dinner I'm not saying they're going to be stands.
No, I don't think
it's not going to be
with no stands.
It's not going to be the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival, where you can people get kicked out of the park, especially if you're a soccer player and you played on the Olympic team. Alex Morgan, I'm looking at you. You can get kicked out of Epcot if you have too much to drink.
We know.
We saw what happened to her. And we've seen actual people. Yep. Remember that guy a few years ago that tried to climb the Mexico?
Yes, I sure did.
The pyramid? Yes. He actually got to the top. And then they had to put a sign up, no climbing pyramid. Like, why does that sign need to be there? Because that person. Yeah, some not so bright, I want to say, individual drank way too much. Yeah. And I don't know how you even climb that sober, let alone with drinks in you.
I don't either.
That's really steep.
It's kind of impressive.
And then he got down.
I know.
That scares me. I would never do that. Anyway, I mean, imagine how hurt you could get.
No, I can't imagine.
Anyway, it's not going to be like that.
No.
Because it's very controlled.
And I don't think it should be.
No, it's very controlled. How many drinks can you really have during dinner?
3 or 4.
Right. 3 or 4 is a lot, I think.
Well.
Like, they're strong drinks. So you're not.
Oh, that's true.
And you're not sitting there for 3-4 hours. Like,
no, you're right.
Disney, they'll let you sit and relax, but the servers are going to keep an eye on you. They're not going to let you drink a lot at your table. No. So you're not going to have that rowdy element at Magic Kingdom.
Right.
I've never seen it.
Me neither.
And you didn't even know the last time we were at Magic Kingdom, you could drink in those restaurants. You had no idea.
That is incredible.
We've had drinks at Be Our Guest. That's been for years now. But yeah, so I'm really thankful for that because,
me too.
Again, as an adult who has kids, who drinks responsibly, I want to be able to enjoy a really nice beer at the end of the day, especially after a long, hot day.
Or a glass of wine.
I'm not a wine person.
But many people are.
No. One thing, I'm sorry, I don't think they sell twisted tea at Be Our Guest.
I'm out.
It doesn't fit the theme.
It doesn't fit any theme.
Like Belle walking around with a twisted tea in a book.
That's really well done. Oh no.
I laughed at my own joke and I coughed. We can't kick this cough. All right. So what's your next one?
Am I on my third one?
No, your fourth one.
I am? Oh, right.
I only have one left.
Okay. So, my fourth one, I have 2 different ones. So I'm trying to decide between them as I'm talking about this. I'm going to go ahead and go with this one. This is a super specific one, but it can get general. So I'm just going to tell you guys, when Phil first told me the topic, he said, I'm going to try to do, kind of different things. I don't want to just say, like, I'm thankful for Splash Mountain, I'm thankful for, that kind of thing. But I said, could I do one attraction? So, of course, he's, kind. And he said, yeah, of course you can.
By the way, you're making me sound like I'm like a tyrant.
No, but you had no, not at all. I just mean he has great specific ideas for his podcast. So I wanted to make sure that it would flow.
Is it okay that I demand perfection on my show?
But I am doing one, and I think you'll understand why. So, of course, I'm so thankful for Toy Story Mania. First of all, just in general, it's such an awesome experience. And so I'm thankful that it's something to look forward to. Everyone has kind of stressful days or tough days. And I'm going to be totally honest, there are times when I just think, well, don't worry, because in a month or however long, you're going to be going on Toy Story Mania, and you're going to be so happy and excited. Just focus on that. And it really does work. But I am thankful for just the technology that goes into it and the theming, which I'm trying not to give away my last one too much, but just, it's such an immersive experience, and it's super fun. And, for me personally, I have a personal experience because I couldn't see 3D for a lot of my life. So for me to be able to see 3D while something is moving and I'm, playing a game at the same time, my kids can do it, it can be a competitive aspect of it, which I think is really fun.
Except for me, I don't ever get to play.
Well, that's not my fault.
I have both girls on the ride, and they both play, and I just sit in the middle.
Jack just does what he can, and I just keep going.
I just sit in the middle and don't get to play. I just watch.
No, but my point is that I am thankful for that attraction specifically, and just for the attractions in general, of course, and just how, immersive they are and how high tech they are, and just, it gives you something to get excited about and to look forward to. Yeah,
I love that attraction too. I don't know if we've done an episode where you haven't mentioned Toy Story.
I don't think I can't.
I know, it's like your favorite thing in the world.
It is my favorite thing.
Like if you had to choose, this is going to be a tough one. You ready?
Oh, I can't wait.
If you had to choose between the jalapeno cheese pretzel
or
Toy Story Mania. You could only have one on a Disney trip. What would you pick?
On the whole trip?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do Toy Story Mania.
Wow, over
It's
the
tough.
jalapeno cheese pretzel.
It's tough.
You can't make that decision now because the cheese pretzels are gone. but still.
Maybe. But yeah, I mean, I think you could kind of figure out a way to get a jalapeno cheese pretzel. Might not be as good.
Just like get a pretzel and put some peppers on it.
No, they have it like Wawa. They have like their version.
A lot of people don't know what Wawa is.
Well,
They sound like we're speaking nonsense. Wawa.
A made up faraway land. No, but so you could maybe, get something close to it, but there's nothing like Toy Story Mania. There really isn't.
No. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin was like the original.
Nope.
Yeah, it's just not as good.
I just don't think
it's not as good.
I like
it's
it.
really good in its own way, and I really enjoy that I can get a much higher score on that one because I know like some secrets.
But this is just different. I mean, it's like any age, very young, very much older, like any age can do it, can enjoy it. And even if you don't want to participate in the games, even just the ride itself, just scooting you through.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's just super fun.
It is.
And I'm thankful for that.
It's a great pick, and my arms get tired riding that ride.
I know.
Doing the gun, you're just like, by the time you're at that final scene where you have to go real fast.
But you have to.
Oh, your arms are like, geez, I can't even do this anymore.
Because we're so competitive. We're like, we gotta do it.
If it's ever you and me together,
forget it.
We're like hitting each
It's
other.
on.
Like elbows to the eye. We come off that ride bloodied. What's funny is just reminded me. This is I don't think I've told this story on the podcast, so
okay.
It's a tangent. I'll tell it quickly. When we were on that trip, just the two of us to Disneyland, we went and had dinner.
Oh, this is a good story.
This was a quote unquote research trip without our kids, because it was when I first started my business and we hadn't been to Disneyland, to California Adventure, since it had been remodeled. So we went out.
It was a business trip.
It was a business trip.
Yeah.
So we went out to see the remodel and see Cars Land and Buena Vista Street and the new stuff that had come to Disneyland. It was a big deal for us.
It was.
So we had dinner at the Carthay Circle restaurant, and I did not know at that point. Which is
great, by the way.
Right. And I did not know at that point that I needed cataract surgery.
Right.
Because I was having a really hard time seeing, and everything seemed dark, but I don't know what I thought. I thought I just needed glasses.
Right.
So we went on the trip, and we were at the bar with a friend of ours before we went up to our table, and I read the beer menu, and I thought it said lager bottles. And I said, oh, cool, lager bottles. I'll have one of these. So I ordered a beer that I thought sounded good. And the bartender came over with this humongous bottle of beer.
So big.
It was like 4 beers in one. And he sat it down on the bar and he opened it and he poured it into this little glass. And I looked at you and our friend and I go, what is this? And he read the menu and he started dying and he started laughing.
Obviously.
And he said, it says larger bottles. So I had to drink that whole thing because it was like $25 for this one
of course it was.
bottle of beer. So I drank it during our little cocktail hour and our dinner. And then we went back into Disneyland and rode Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin.
That was not very nice.
And I was a little bit feeling the pressures of that big bottle of beer.
And I thought it was hilarious.
And Amy was making fun of me. And I said, because I was feeling it. And I said, Ames, don't spin the ride because I don't feel great.
So I didn't.
Oh my God, she spun it the whole time.
I did. I really did.
I kept telling her, I feel sick. And she was like, eh. She kept spinning that thing around.
It was just a little bit funny.
Anyway, yeah, I was very dizzy. And we got off and we were walking back to our hotel room at Disneyland Hotel. And I was like, oh man, I wasn't mad.
No, you were cracking up.
I was laughing, but felt a little queasy.
It was the rough one.
Yeah, so it did not say lager bottle. It said larger bottle. Anyway. All right, so sorry about the tangent.
So
my last one.
Okay.
And my last couple things, it's a combo.
Okay.
That I'm thankful for. It's not exactly Walt Disney World, but it's Disney.
Okay.
The two things are the Griffith Park Carousel and Tivoli Gardens.
Okay.
And you're looking at me like you have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna make this make sense.
I know what you're talking about with the second one.
So we all know the story of Walt Disney in the 30s and 40s would take his daughters on the weekends to Griffith Park. Okay? You're looking at me like you still don't know. You're going to know this in 1 second. Okay? So he would sit on a park bench while his daughters rode the carousel.
Oh, right.
And it was during one of those daddy-daughter days where he's sitting on the park bench, eating his peanuts, and he thought to himself, there's got to be a place, I need a place where adults and children could go and have fun together, right? That was his thing. He wanted a family park.
Right.
So, by the way, that bench that he was sitting on when he literally had that thought is in the Opera House in Disneyland.
That's
You
so
can
cool.
go. When we were there a few months ago, I walked in and I think I did a Facebook Live video of it. And
That
you
is
can't
so
sit
cool.
on it. You can't touch it.
Right, of course.
But it's there. It's very cool to see that.
Yeah.
So he had that idea. Now, that was in the 30s and 40s, all right? Was when he had that, the late 30s, early 40s, was when he started conceiving Disneyland, okay? Then on a trip in 1951, he went to Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen with his wife, and I think Art Linkletter, believe it or not, was
I
on that
have
trip.
been there. It's
I know
awesome.
you've been in Tivoli Gardens. So that's an amusement park that was built in like the 20s or 30s. And he noticed how clean it was, how like beautiful it was with like the flowers
Right,
and the trees and the
right.
landscaping and all these lights, right? Like at night would light up like Main Street USA eventually does.
Right.
And he told his wife Lillian, look at this. This is what an amusement park should be. None of this, dirty and not safe attractions and, seedy kind of people walking around. He wanted this fancy, clean, beautiful
Right.
park.
Absolutely. That's
So
what he got.
those two things together
Yep. That's
are kind of the inspiration for what would become Disneyland. And then, of course, eventually Magic Kingdom and Epcot and all the other parks. So without those two, without him taking his kids to Griffith Park and riding the carousel, and without his trip to Tivoli Gardens, we may have never gotten Disneyland. We may have never gotten Walt Disney World. And yeah, I think, so I'm super thankful for those two things and for Walt for going to those two things so that I could have a job.
Perfectly fine.
But really, I said this before to people, and I think I said this to Johnny Shortsleeve on the show before. If Walt Disney didn't do what he did, you and I, we wouldn't be having this conversation right
Absolutely
now. Obviously,
not. I would never know who you were.
we never would have met.
Right. That's true.
Like it may have been that Griffith Park, bench that changed. What did it change? Like, think about what
You're
that chain
absolutely right.
reaction did.
You're right.
Like, think about what Walt Disney did after Disneyland opened or when
Right.
Disneyland opened and how much he changed the world. And think about how different, like, we'd probably still be here, but who knows?
Isn't that true?
Like, I don't know. It just blows my mind to think about what
One
one
moment,
individual,
right.
one moment for one
And
individual
yep.
could do for
Yeah,
the world.
absolutely.
It's nuts. So, yeah. So,
This is
to get-
super deep.
yeah, we got
right?
way too deep. Way too deep. Got to reel it back in. So, yeah. So, anyway, Griffith Park and Tivoli Gardens is what I'm thankful for.
That was really good. I'm really glad, by the way, that I did not close out with Toy Story Mania after that one that you had. I have a good one as well. And it's very, very general. But I think it's good on a thankful podcast. So basically, I'm just thankful for just the complete theming and immersion created by Disney, both in the resorts and the parks. Like it just being even in a resort, even, in a counter service restaurant, anywhere in Walt Disney World, you just forget all your troubles and just appreciate all the wonderful work and imagination that goes into every aspect of Walt Disney World and Disneyland.
Yeah. So, the theming, right, is what you're saying.
The
yeah.
theming, basically.
It's second to none.
And
anywhere in the
just
world.
as I said, just the complete immersion, which I guess is created by the theming. Just, let's just say when you're at, sorry to keep saying Wilderness Lodge, and you're standing outside of Wilderness Lodge, you feel like you're in the middle of a forest.
Yeah,
You're in the woods.
What's funny is I've said that on this show, that exact thing a lot, right? Like you think, like those noises, those nature sounds, like
Yep.
they have speakers that play those.
I
Like
know.
they pipe those noises in.
Is that amazing?
You feel like you're walking around in the Pacific Northwest somewhere.
You really do.
Your mind can actually forget that you can literally
That you're
hear the
in
fireworks
Florida.
from there,
Yep.
from Magic Kingdom. You're right. Like it's amazing what the theming can do for you.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
By the way, Wilderness Lodge at Christmas, is there anything better?
Nothing better in the world.
I mean, at Thanksgiving too. By the way, right now, Amy is she has one
It
of
happens
those
to me all the time.
Pandora bracelets on.
Phil got me this gorgeous charm that gets stuck on every single item.
It's the Philadelphia Love statue, the love sculpture, but the O is not an O, it's Minnie Mouse's head.
But it just got caught. It's the E that gets stuck on all my clothes.
It got caught on her sweater as we were sitting here doing the end of the podcast here. But yeah, I mean, Wilderness Lodge at Christmas, Wilderness Lodge this month, Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Some of the places in Walt Disney World, you completely lose it. Like lose sense of where, not lose it, lose like the sense of what it is. And like Pandora, I know you haven't seen it.
No, I can't wait.
It's unbelievable.
I know.
Like when you're in there, especially like at night, you just forget that you're in a park.
That's exactly what
you
I mean.
are on that planet.
That's what I mean. And
that's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like again,
New Fantasyland the same way.
Absolutely.
With the immersion.
The same way. When you're sitting in Gaston's Tavern, the music, you feel like you're, in France, I mean, you really do.
The best thing that could have happened to Walt Disney World, to the Disney company, was the other park down the road getting the rights to that wizard kid.
You're right, because then they up their game.
That wizard kid, the rights to that changed the landscape of what theme parks are.
Actually,
they did a phenomenal job with those lands.
Yes.
Unbelievable in those other parks.
Incredible.
So what is Disney doing? They're saying, well, we see you're a wizard boy, and we're going to up you Star Wars.
That's right.
And twist. I cannot wait to see the immersion of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Talk about that, where you feel like you're just completely different.
You're going to be on, the cast members that work there are going to be characters in the show.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
You're going to go to a restaurant,
right,
and your server is going to be an alien.
That's insane.
It's not going to be a human.
Right.
Or if it's a human that lives on Tatooine.
Right.
Or it lives on, I don't know, one of the other, Hoth or something, one of the other Disney planets. And I love that the planet isn't a planet that we've seen before in the Star Wars galaxy. It's an original spaceport that's not in any of the movies.
Okay, right.
So that's why it makes sense that Millennium Falcon is there, because it landed there to refuel and they had that attraction. Excuse me. So the immersion for that land is going to be, and a new hotel. Oh my God.
It's exciting.
Oh my God. Disney, by the way, has to invite me down there for this. I was invited for like little minor things, like restaurant previews and stuff. I haven't been invited for anything big. Like, I need to get invited for the Star Wars Land Open. That
would be your dream come true.
I think there's somebody that's at Disney listening right now. They're going to give me a call. Anyway, yeah, I love the theming. It's a great pick.
I just think, again, and I'm not trying to say everyone has such a stressful life, but everyone has stress in their life and, has moments where it's like overwhelming. And, I've felt overwhelmed on a Disney trip just for whatever reason. I remember we were like selling our house one of our trips and I was totally stressed out. And then for me, we were in Epcot and I walked into, what's it called? The Seas with Nemo and Friends?
Yeah.
That attraction. And I just was like, whoop, and everything went away, and I felt like I was going to go find Nemo.
Did it erase your thoughts because it's so cold in there that you couldn't
stand it? It is cold.
Why is it so cold in there?
It's really cold. But for real, and for those 15 minutes, I wasn't stressed about anything. I just was having fun finding Nemo, and then I walked into the aquarium. And,
I completely agree. For me, that there are so many places in the parks and resorts to do that.
Absolutely.
When I first check in, and I walk into the resort the first day, the first minute.
Oh, that's the best moment.
When you walk in, it's almost
the best moment.
It's almost like somebody has an eraser and just erases everything on your mind.
It's so true.
And it's like, forget about it. You're here.
You are. All of the lobbies of the resorts, that's, I said the resorts too, just the lobbies walking in there. It's a
you get the music, the air conditioner, the smell that they pump in.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Cast member, the welcome home, the everything. It just all hits you at once. And
There's
you're like,
TVs with Disney stuff,
Yeah, your blood pressure goes whoop and just goes back to where it should be.
It's true.
All the stresses, all the problems, everything you were thinking about, even on a plane or in the car, your kids are fighting, whatever, is gone.
Right. The heat, everything. You just don't worry about it.
And I dare anyone to say that they don't feel that way when you get into the parks and resorts. I don't think it's possible.
No.
Even the Disney haters that are out there.
Well, don't go if you're a hater.
They're not listening to this anyway. But the Disney haters, I've had so many. It's so weird that people do this, but I've had so many people who write to me and are like, "Why do you what do you get out of this? Like,
well, why do you even like it?"
Right. And for me, I don't get why you would waste your time writing to me.
That's true.
I'm not gonna respond to that. Well, if I do respond, I'll give you reasons why. But I've had people who were like, I'm not a Disney person. And they go, I booked their trips. And they're like, I'm not a Disney person, but I'm taking my kids. And they go, and I get an email back later, and they're like, you were right, it's amazing.
That's true.
Because if you go with that mindset.
You can't help it. And you don't know, you can't picture what it's going to be like until you're sitting.
It's true. If you've never been there, you don't know you just have no concept. Right. If you think amusement park, like I said, like a Six Flags or something like that, or like Carnival, it's not even. Anyway, so what we're saying at the end here is we're thankful for kind of all of Walt Disney World.
Yeah, sorry
and for
about
Disneyland
that.
And the Disney Cruise Line.
That'd be a good way to close it.
No, it's perfect. It is. The theming is, like I said, second to none.
For sure.
Like I said, the Wizard area at the other parks does a great job.
Yes,
phenomenal. I'm not going to speak badly about it because I do book trips to there too. I do, and I used to work there, and I do really enjoy their parks. But they set the bar, and Disney's just passing it.
Yeah, they stomped on the bar a little bit.
Like with Avatar, with the world Pandora, the world of Avatar.
Yep, I agree.
With what Toy Story Land looks like, what Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is going to be, what the Viewliner is going to be. I'm so excited.
Me too.
The future is so bright.
We're going to have to wear shades.
With that, thank you again for being on. I can't top that.
My pleasure. No, thanks for having me. This was so fun, as always.
This is a lot of fun. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving to you, even though I will see you on Thanksgiving.
That's true.
And to you guys out there, the listeners, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy it with your family and friends. And we'll talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time.
And that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Ear to There podcast. Thank you again to my co-host, my guest, whatever you want to call her, Amy Elizabeth Ramlick, my dear, lovely wife. No, it's so much fun. It's always fun when Amy comes on. It's fun to talk Disney with her, and we have so much fun. Can I say fun another time? But no, thank you, Ames, and I am so thankful for her, seriously, every single day. She keeps me sane. She really does keep our family together, so thank you to Ames. And thank you so much for listening, as always, but especially this time of year, I am so thankful for you, for listening to the show, for talking about the show, for emailing, for telling other people about it, for calling the voice line. Really, talk about being thankful. This is like a dream come true for me. I never thought I was going to be a podcaster, and now I love doing this, and I love hearing from you, and I love that you enjoy the show. So wherever you are right now, in your car, on the treadmill, out for a walk, walking the dog, wherever you are, thank you so much. And I hope you know how much you listening each and every week means to me, because it means literally the world to me. Okay, so there will be, after all that mushy show of emotion, there will be a new episode of the Ear to There podcast each and every Monday morning. Also look out for the Ear to There podcast, Walt Disney World Word of the Week. Somebody just texted me. Those will be coming in each and every Wednesday morning. So until next time, again, thank you so much. And I am so thankful for you. Have a phenomenal week and a very, very happy Thanksgiving with your family and with your friends. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.